Welcome to Prescription for Healthy Lifestyles. I'm Dr. Daniel Potts.
And I'm Edie Hand, and thank you for joining us here today. We have a show that's going to touch people's hearts about domestic violence.
We really do, but you know what? I'm mad at you because you did not ask me to go on that trip.
I'm telling you, it was more women, but I'm taking you with me next time,
okay,
just so you can. Are you ready?
You hear that? I'm holding you to it.
Well, it was a great adventure, and it was very inspirational at the same time. We also have Nashville Star winner Angela Hacker with us.
Absolutely.
And we have Tonya and Holly, who's a mother-daughter, that's going to share their story of overcoming about their film that they produced right here in Alabama.
Right. All of these are inspirational stories. You won't want to miss any of them. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Prescription for Healthy Lifestyles is brought to you in part by Boyette Health Services of Alabama, offering complete medical and dental care. Enjoy the latest books from Edie Hand. A portion of sales benefit charities such as St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Visit www.ediehandfoundation.org or your local or online bookstore. Pick up your copies today. A Pocket Guide for the Alzheimer's Caregiver by Dr. Daniel Potts and his wife Ellen helps you understand this disease and get the best care possible. Go to alzpocketguide.com or any online bookstore for your copy.
I'm motivational speaker and author Dale Smith Thomas, and my philosophy has always been we should be hope dealers, helping other people excel. Log on to my website, winnersbychoice.com, for your free motivational gift. Let's all change the world.
There's an art to making tea. At Red Diamond, it begins with tea leaves and nothing else. We remove the stems and twigs that come with the tea, leaving just the leaf for a flavorful, refreshing taste. There's an art to making the perfect pitcher of tea, and we practice it every day. Drink fresh. Drink Red Diamond.
You're watching Prescription for Healthy Lifestyles with Edie Hand and Dr. Daniel Potts.
Welcome back. Edie, I know this is a very special thing to you. Tell us about your experience in Detroit.
Yes, it was a domestic violence event at Turning Point, which is a national organization. This group was having a fundraiser and also sharing a young woman's story of overcoming, seeing her mother and her father murdered, how she's overcome and how community came together to make a difference.
Wow. Take a look at this clip from Turning Point.
Being a voice for people is very important in our positions to say, I care about you. And I wanted to share with you a little bit today about how do we really see what we see? Do we really hear what we hear? So how do you unlearn what you've learned? When someone has been so unkind to you, or someone has been abusive to you sexually, how do you make a difference? What I learned through my niece's story is that, unfortunately, at the age of 23, I lost my brother Philip. And his little girl was Muffin, we nicknamed her, was only 5 years old. And her mother would not let me adopt her because I knew that was a bad situation. I just didn't know how bad. You see, I didn't see what I needed to see, and I didn't hear what I needed to hear until she was 16 years old, and she came to me and she said, I'm being tied to a bedpost and I'm being raped repeatedly since I was 5 years old. My mama sells me for drugs. I can't tell you, it put a big hole in my heart. Do you ever not see what you need to see or hear what you need to hear? It made a profound difference to me, and I put her immediately under care to counsel, to try to make a difference in her life. And I'm proud to say today, she has learned how to unlearn what she learned.
I'm the daughter of an amazing woman whose name was Maria Jelly. For almost 22 years of her marriage to my father, she had endured constant psychological, physical, and emotional abuse. On March 19, 2008, my father shot and killed my mother. He then proceeded to commit suicide. On this day, I thought my entire world had come to an end. But somehow, I was able to pull myself together and overcome this detrimental news. Because of the strength my mother instilled in me while growing up, and her constant guidance and leadership throughout the first 18 years of my life. When my mother was killed, I could not help but hope that she had somehow found peace. But I had a feeling she was not completely at peace, for these various reasons. People within my extended family and other individuals within my community soon began asking me what my mother did that caused my father to do this to her. I heard rumor after rumor that somehow my mother deserved to be killed. After hearing all of these rumors, I became enraged, yet depressed and heartbroken all at once. Although my father undeniably shot and killed my mother, people were still questioning whether or not this case was a case of domestic violence and whether or not she actually deserved to be killed. Similar to the aforementioned comments from the online article, 4 years ago, I also saw comments similar to these in blogs and online newspapers on how my parents were both amazing people and that my father did not murder her, or that it was not my father's fault that he killed her. With all the controversy over my parents' deaths occurring, I was somehow able to reach in on my outrage and became empowered to educate others within my own community as well as throughout the rest of society about my personal story and about domestic violence in general.
That was certainly inspirational of what Turning Point is doing around the country to help women that are battered and children.
Unbelievable, so important. I actually have brochures on my desk that my wife gave me to give out to folks that I could identify. So,
you know, and just if you really need some help, you should call Turning Point or go to their website. And coming up next, we have a very compelling story from Angela Hacker, who was a Nashville Star winner, and also someone that has overcome domestic violence and even wrote a song about it called Behind These Walls. You won't want to miss it.
Prescription for Healthy Lifestyles is brought to you in part by The Vein Guys. Better legs, better life.
Hi, I'm Sarah Evans here with friends Rollins and Kumar. They're here for care at the Alabama Center for Childhood Cancer and Blood Disorders, the largest provider of cancer care for children and young adults in the state. At Children's, we treat every form of cancer and we're committed to a cure. You can be too. Donate now so thousands of kids like Rollins and Kumar will celebrate lots of birthdays, including their own.
Hi, I'm Edie Hand.
And I'm Ronnie McDowell.
And I'm Georgette Jones.
Together, we'd love to ask you to support the Children's Miracle Network Children's Hospital.
That's right, Edie. Your local children's hospital provides state-of-the-art care, life-saving research, and preventative education for children 24 hours a day.
And we need your support to continue helping make life better for others. Just log on to childrensmiraclenetwork.org. We believe together we can have those miracles.
You're watching Prescription for Healthy Lifestyles with Edie Hand and Dr. Daniel Potts.
From Prescription for Healthy Lifestyles with Edie Hand and Dr. Daniel Potts. We're talking about domestic violence today. We're continuing to talk about this from the Turning Point setting in Detroit, Michigan, to right here in Nashville, Tennessee. And joining me is the Nashville Star of 2007, Angela Hacker. And welcome, Miss Angela.
Well, thank you.
You know, I love your voice, and I love what you've done with this particular album.
Oh, thank you. It was fun to make.
Was it? And did you have a hand in every song there, Angela?
Most of the songs are songs I co-penned, you know, but there are a few that we picked that were they just were really cool songs, and so I wanted to do a couple that weren't mine.
Well, I want you to know that I laughed so hard in the car when you sang, "Don't waste your pretty on no ugly man."
That's right. That's right.
I could hear our grandmother saying that, which our viewers, this is my first cousin also. Angela's father was my mother's youngest brother. And, you know, when you grow up in a family with a lot of music and, you know, we come from that Presley lineage, I love how, remember those family reunions? You were just a little girl.
I was.
I'm a lot older than you, but sitting out on the front porch and singing these songs.
But one of the things I guess I learned when I was sharing some of my story was there might have been all day singings and that dinner on the ground, but there was always whiskey in the bushes.
Oh, there was. And in the car.
And all around. And you shared some difficult times as a child with my uncle and your dad because of whiskey and difficult things. Would you share just a little bit of what that was about and how writing this song is to help other women?
Well, you know, for me, writing is just kind of a release. I don't really know where it comes from. It's just always been there since I was about 10. And of course, you know, just like you just got through saying, growing up in a home where, you know, there's some kind of a substance abuse and problem. You know, it was difficult at times. And, you know, I cross melodies sometimes that will spark me in a certain way. And the lady that I started writing this song with, Kat Gravitt, who's a great songwriter, a Nashville songwriter, had a lot of things out there. We talked about my story, you know, about the alcohol abuse and some of the other things, kind of the, you know, because most of mine was emotional. There wasn't really any physical. It was all emotional kind of stuff growing up.
Because you watched your father interact with your mother.
Right, and it was, you know, because of the, you know, the problem with alcohol, it was kind of one of those atmospheres where you're kind of observant. So that's kind of where I got that, the fear, the...
Would you share the line that I love so much? I wrote the speech because I was inspired by your song, Behind These Walls, is I wrote, how do you unlearn what you've learned? It touched me profoundly because I could identify with growing up with one of my youngest brother, learning this from my uncles, and it was cool, they thought, but it wasn't cool, and I saw so much. And share those lyrics and where that deep came from in you, deep place in you.
Well, that's the channel. Of course, after the first verse, how do you unlearn the things you've learned? And then it repeats that and goes on to say, how do you unsee the things you've seen? Because I think it's the things that you see as a child when you're real impressionable and you kind of getting your bearings in the world as you grow.
Formative years.
Right, and so, you know, you grow up seeing these things, and for a long time I guess I thought it was okay. And then at a point, you know, when you start to get a little bit older and get a little bit more mature, you kind of say, well, what, that was not, that wasn't really normal, you know, so that's where those lines kind of come from.
What did you unlearn in your life to be able to learn to write like this?
You know, I had to unlearn distrust, and that, I would say that's the biggest one, and I kind of still am going through that, you know, at my age now.
Even relationships probably more difficult for you.
And every kind, really, every kind of relationship, whether it's friendship or, you know, personal boyfriend, girlfriend type stuff. It's just one of those things that you just kind of carry as part of your personality. But like I said, you know, I've also, you know, just letting go and forgiveness, that's kind of the big kicker.
In your music, and I want you to know, I am so proud of you, and you have turned into this beautiful young woman, very talented, and I'm just proud that you're my cousin. And you know, we do go through tough things in life, and I want to say to women out there that if you want to get this album, it's something you'd really love, is Don't Waste Your Pretty. But these songs, I can tell, came from a very deep place. About your son, there was a song of how special that was in your life.
Oh yeah,
and I think
the best part of
me. And they could go to the website at Fame2, I think that is.
Fame2.com.
Or Amazon.com or iTunes. They're out there everywhere, right?
I believe so. I think that it's pretty easily found.
And I'll link our folks. I'll link our rxhealthylife.com to this also. So stay with us.
Prescription for Healthy Lifestyles is brought to you by Nolan Services, fine providers of long-term care.
Huddle up, Scott. Scott Crump Toyota, Camry option, 35 MPGs, $199 a month. Head in the game, Bubba. Roll savings on 3. Right!
Hey, Alabama, let's roll on savings in the new 2012 Corolla. $179 a month. Or new Camrys. Roll for $199 a month. 0 down delivers, 0% financing available. Plus, make no payments till next year.
Roll savings!
At Scott Crump Toyota,
We'll do whatever it takes.
Hi, I'm Edie Hand, here for Scott Crump Toyota in Jasper. Scott and I have teamed up to bring a program to your community to encourage and educate children on the importance of mentorship and self-esteem. Visit our websites. Hi, I'm Edie Hand with Prescription for Healthy Lifestyles. And joining me is two good friends, Jeff Godfrey and Tim Aaron, who is the founder of Optimal Pain Control. This cream really works. It's helped me with my pain, and it can you. OPCRX.com.
You're watching Prescription for Healthy Lifestyles with Edie Hand and Dr. Daniel Potts.
Welcome into Prescription for Healthy Lifestyles with Edie Hand and Dr. Daniel Potts. We're talking about domestic violence. And joining me is film director, writer, entrepreneur, Tonya Holly, and her lovely daughter, actress Lily Holly. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Well, you know, what's exciting to me is I've watched Lily grow up, and she's now a beautiful young woman. I can't believe I hadn't seen her in a few years, and she's all grown up. What's it been like for you, Tonya, in writing your film that you did of When I Find the Ocean? What was that like for you to express those feelings? Because I know you'd gone through some personal domestic violence situation in your family.
When I Find the Ocean was something that is definitely based on a true story. Of course, we took that story and we built it into this film, and I did as a writer. But it's definitely something that I had to do. I had to tell the story. So I call it a journey of the heart, for sure. It was definitely something that I enjoyed sharing with the world. And I think we've had a lot of great response from
You've won some awards with
Yes,
this.
we've won quite a few awards with this. It's been very exciting.
And for Lily, I mean, for Lily to star in this, Lily, what was that like for you to be around some of the greats that was in this, like Lee Majors and Diane Ladd?
It was surreal. It was just, it was an honor tacked alongside some legendary, some iconic actors. I mean, I learned so much from them.
And, you know, for you, not only with this, is what was it like for you in writing this and then seeing it come to life on the screen and knowing that you and your mom had lived this?
It really is when you're writing something, you don't expect it to come out sometimes the way that it actually does. But I felt like there had to be a certain amount of truth that happened when I was telling this story. And it really touched in my heart to send it out to the world. I wanted to be sure that I covered the topic delicately, but yet honestly, and I think we achieved that. And Lily does a great job of playing me when I was a little girl.
I thought she did a great job doing that also. And you know, of course, my son Link was in your film too, and it was one of his first, and just watching you gave a lot of opportunities. To have that make you feel to give young people an opportunity in this film?
That was wonderful. We shot mostly in Alabama. We shot 3 days in Tennessee. The rest was in Alabama, and tried to hire as many local as I possibly could, and used a lot of amazing actors in there. Diane Ladd, Lee Majors, Graham Greene.
He was something else.
Oh, he's an amazing actor. He's just the Twilight movies and Dances with Wolves. Richard Tyson, who does play the abuser. What an
We've
amazing...
got a clip, don't we, of that?
We do. We do have a clip.
Is Lily in?
Lily is in that scene. That is one of the most intense
That was
scenes.
the most intense scene for me.
It had
Just
feeling it? Did
because
you
with
feel
the
it?
character, I mean, you know, you have to make it as real as possible. So I mean, you have to feel it too, and just the emotion and everything that was happening there was just it was awful, you know.
Well, because you know you can only get into a character if you become it, you know, and really, and I see that that's the development of great actors and actresses, and we're going to see a little clip of that right now. So we'll go and check this out right now. This is When I Find the Ocean, and a scene. Is this at the woodshed? Did you say?
The woodshed.
Okay.
Thinking of leaving? Did you lie to me? Did you?
Yes.
What did I say was going to happen if you lied to me?
Man, you should have heard that little girl screaming all the way up in the hill.
What was he so afraid of?
Damn it, Adams, don't you start with me. This is serious. The little girl's missing.
Well, she knows better than to be in that boat by herself.
People are scared.
Scared of what?
Change. They're scared of change.
Tonya and Lily, that was very poignant.
Yeah, it was hard to watch as a mom director, even though I knew it wasn't real.
Yeah, you know, well, and not only for this has set the tone for you, Tonya, to develop other films. I know you've written a lot of screenplays, and you tell us a little bit about your background too in film.
Well, I've been, that's what I wanted to do my whole life, was be in film. My degree's in theater, but I'm a writer first, and I started writing at a young age. And this is the story of Bonnie and Clyde, which is our next film. It's something I've been very passionate about for a very long time. We have about 20 other projects too that are in the works. So we want to go from
You've
when
been
I
a
find the
busy
ocean.
lady.
We are. We're very, and we have the studio, the Cypress Moon Studio. So we're doing a lot over there with the workshops and the music.
If people want to learn about you, where do they go to?
www.cypressmoonproduction.com, and they can go to our Facebook page. We also have the Story of Bonnie and Clyde Facebook page.
And that's exciting, and I know that you're in development now and raising funds for that. And so if people want to email you or get to you, can they do that through the website
They
also?
can. They can just send it to Tonya at cypressmoonproduction.com. And then Lily's also on Facebook.
We also have a Facebook page where they can actually like the actual page, Bonnie and Clyde, the story of Bonnie and Clyde.
How's that set up on the Facebook? Is it just your Cypress Moon or your personal?
We have the movie When I Find the Ocean Facebook. We have the Story of Bonnie and Clyde Facebook. We have my personal, which is Tonya Suzanne Holly.
And then I have a personal, which is Lily Holly.
Lily Matlin Holly. Right?
It's just Lily Holly.
Okay.
There you go, Mom. Well, you know, this is what it's about, is getting that message out there and making a difference for people and being a voice for domestic violence, but also for film and good film. And I want to thank you, Tonya, for coming, you and Lily, and because I know you're going to do some more great things because you're destined to do that.
Thank you very much. Don't forget you're in When I Find the Ocean too. You didn't tell.
Well, that's right. I was cooking like always. It's about the food with me. But thank you for letting me be a part of what you do too, and I'm so excited that you are a part of my family too. So thank you.
It's good to be here.
Will you come back? We'll celebrate
come back.
Bonnie and Clyde and bring some of the big stars?
We will. We'll bring them back.
All right. And thank you for joining us. And we'll be back with more of Prescriptions for Healthy Lifestyles next week with Edie Hand and Dr. Daniel Potts.
Don't miss Prescription for Healthy Lifestyles next week when we come to you from world-class Children's Hospital of Alabama. We speak with Chef Chris, who has healthy food ideas for us that are also tasty, Dr. Stephanie Wallace, who talks about childhood obesity, and Pam Nichols, who talks about assisted living, specifically Nolan services, right here on Rural TV.